Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and today we have the new Gaunts Ghosts models to be unboxing. That one we've picked up on our own, and then courtesy of Games Workshop, the rest of the items have actually been sent to us for the purpose of our review and this video. And that would be the General's Handbook for 2021, the Amidst the Ashes mission pack for 40k, and then the Book of Fire Warzone Caradon for 40k as well. So we're going to get into those just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and open up the Gaunts Ghost miniatures first. Now, like I said, these ones we picked up, these were not provided for us. We actually tried to get one through GW, but they were unable to do so. But because I am obsessed with the Gaunts Ghosts series, I had to get myself a set anyway. So here we are. Alright, so this is a 6 model box. I believe it goes for like somewhere between $45 and $60 if I remember correctly, plus tax. I want to say it was 60, but don't quote me on that because it has been a couple weeks since purchased. Now, looks like everything is on a single sprue. And I mean, looking at them, and we've got quite a lot of detail. I know that the cloaks kind of take away some of the detail just by the fact that they are, smooth cloth and are covering other features, but what you can see does have quite a bit of detail on there. I especially love this branch that McCole is kind of standing on, and they've done a lot of great detail on this. I mean, one thing that really stands out here is, even if I wasn't going to be building this for the Gaunts Ghosts, the possibility for kit bashing with these is very high just because of the unique stances, the unique branches that they're standing on, and unique weapons, things like that, that you don't see very common in a regiment like this. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love is the fact that we finally have a model for Try Again Bragg. He's basically the guy holding the heavy stubber. And I mean, with his ability is you can theoretically, at least at the time it was written, I don't know if an FAQ has changed it since then, but the way it was written was essentially that if in his action he doesn't hit his target with a gun, that he gets to basically lob or try again. And with the grenades, technically you're not hitting them with your gun. So the way some people have argued it is that they can that basically, he throws a grenade. Well, he hasn't hit anything with his gun, so he gets to throw another grenade and another. So you can basically, with him, in a single turn, take out one of the big bads on your opponent's team. Now, I would expect that they're going to FAQ that, so that way that's not going to work. But that's the way it was explained to me to begin with. Now, I haven't gone in depth in their rules myself yet, but let's take a look for Try Again Bragg. Or so it's not a stubber. He's got an autocannon. Let's see. So if no hits were scored with the autocannon, he can immediately shoot again. So, I mean, as it's written, yeah, if you throw a grenade, as it's written, no hits were made with the autocannon, which means he gets to go again. And so the idea is, in the books, he'd almost always miss with his first shot. And, then, everyone would tell him to try again, and then he'd get it on the second shot almost every time. And so that's kind of the basis behind this rule. Now, my expectation is that either the FAQ is going to change that to mean that this only applies when using the autocannon, or it's going to state something along the lines that simply grenades don't count towards that. Now, as we saw a couple weeks ago when we were doing the new Cadian models, there's a lot of room with those to basically just add some clothes to them and make them fit, make them a more Tanith based group. So that's definitely what I'm planning on doing. Now, as expected, we have exactly 6 bases, 1 for each of the models, but definitely looking forward to giving these guys a build and getting some paint on them, especially to go side by side with the older metal models that I actually finished several months ago. So definitely looking forward to that. Now, in both the mission pack, the War Zone, and the General's Handbook, again, these were all sent to us by Games Workshop. Now, me personally, I have never picked up a previous version of the General's Handbook or any of the War Zone or mission packs or anything like that for 40K. So these are very new to me. The main reason being is that I don't play competitively. Typically, if I play, it's usually someone in my house. More often than not, my son. Sometimes my father-in-law. And if we're playing, we typically don't do campaigns or anything like that very often. I would actually say that we actually have never done a campaign or anything like that, with the exception of Necromunda, but that was only a very short-lived instance. Now, I know that for sure the pitched battles, and I'm pretty sure the War Zone and mission pack are already available for purchase. When getting the General's Handbook, you do get these battle tactics as well as these tokens. The pitched battles profiles, which is basically just a quick summary of all of the points values of all of the models across each army. And then, so we have, each section is separated by different tabs. Now, my understanding is that this is something new or newer to the General's Handbook, because I do recall looking at them in the past and not seeing these before. But again, I could be wrong because I've never actually purchased one or really leafed through them much. So the first section is pitched battles for 2021. So this gives us some pitched battles options, tactics, things like that. Some how to get your troops battle ready, scoring sheets, things like that. Now, let's see, let me double check the scoring sheet, because I would expect, yep, just as I was about to say, right there it has printed that you have the permission to photocopy that for personal use. So you can print multiple copies of the scoring sheet, or, because of the fact that it is essentially like a spreadsheet, you could easily just use the same format, do your own in Excel or something like that, and put one together real quick and print that up, so that way you're not wasting a lot of color ink as well. Then we go into the battle plan section. So this will be all of the battle plans that'll be used for various tournaments for the next year. Then we go into endless spells. So we actually have not only the details on each endless spell, but we also see some pictures of them as well. So that way you can either paint them to be similar. And then we go into the core rules themselves. So just at a glance, this looks like it's a slimmed down version of the rules that you'd get in the actual rule book. So if you don't pick up the new Dominion box, because this does match that rule set, I would expect that you're going to get all of the same rules in here, just without as much explanation or any examples. But you do have those rules. So, you know, again, if you don't pick up Dominion, you can pick up just this or just the rule book, and this will give you everything that you need in order to play the game, especially since the battle profiles have all of the updated points values as well. So I would say that, you know, if you're going to pick one or the other, honestly, this is probably the way to go if you're not getting a box set that comes with the rule book already. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at the mission pack first, which I would expect is going to be similar to the General's Handbook, but specific to a certain area. So we have our introduction. So with this one, we don't have the tabs. So it gives you combat patrol missions for this area, incursion missions. So it's basically different ways of doing certain missions for this campaign. And I would expect that if you only that you're going to need both in order to do everything. So I would hope that they come together, or that maybe the book just gives you more detail but has all the same information. Not sure yet, because obviously we haven't cracked that open. Or they could be two entirely different things. And I know that this is more for Crusade, and this is basically a general campaign, it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and open up this. Now, looking at the cover, I've been trying to figure out exactly what we're looking at here, because the kind of mask that you see there kind of looks like almost like a 40K version of Iron Man, at least with the color choice. So before we actually start digging into this, my expectation of this book is I think it's going to be something along the lines of like Broken Realms, Kragnos or Bellicor or any of the other ones, where you're going to get some of the story leading into this, and then you're going to get ways to different battles and things like that, some special character rules for the area and things like that. And speaking of Bellicor, we actually have a section to bring in Bellicor to this battle as well. Alright, so once we get through all the lore and all the art, we get into the actual campaign section, so specifically the campaign rules. So the Caradon of Flame campaign, talking about different Warzone assets, things like that that you can bring with you and make use of, different legendary missions, and then specific army rules as well. And even rules for using Bellicor here. So not just including him in the story, which does not surprise me, because it would be a shame to include him in the story and then not have any rules for him either. But just flipping through, I mean, I see that we have quite a few different factions included in here. Like I'm going through all the Chaos Space Marines right now, Renegade chapters as well. Fabius Bile. There was Skitarii in here as well. So not every faction is covered, but there are quite a few factions that are, mostly smaller factions within like Chaos Space Marines or Renegade Space Marines, things like that. So it looks like the bulk of this, based on pictures, I see a lot of Sisters of Battle, so I expect that I probably missed the Sisters of Battle rules. So I bet if I go through and actually, you know, go page by page, we're probably going to find some Sisters of Battle rules as well. And actually, yep, just found them. So there's our Sisters of Battle. And then the actual full Crusade rules as well. So it doesn't cover as much as the mission pack. So it looks like, you know, they're going to go more hand in hand. So, you know, two separate entities. I would expect that you can do one without the other. But to get the full picture and, you know, all of the options, you're going to want to do both. But definitely some cool stuff in there. My big thing is I wish I played 40k more, so that way I could really get into this. The good thing is that there's a lot of chaos representation, at least for me, because I have always been a chaos player. So I'm definitely happy about seeing that. I know that chaos tends to get more representation than most other factions out there other than Space Marine or orcs these days, but I know the next few releases are going to be centered around the new orcs, the Beast Snagas. Now, we have been told that we should be getting a set of Beast Snagas. Whether that's coming or not, we haven't gotten the absolute confirmation. We've just been told that we should. But either way, next week we will not be having an episode because I will actually be out of town at a wedding. But other than that, the week after we will definitely have an episode going on. Currently don't know exactly what we're going to be covering then, but should still have some fun anyway. So anyway, thank you guys for watching as always. I do appreciate all of your support. You know, if there's anything specific you would like me to talk about or cover, you know, feel free to comment on any of our videos and, you know, let us know. And I'd be more than happy to at least discuss them if it's not something I can get a hold of. But again, that's it for tonight. Thank you again for watching, and I will catch you all not next week, but the week after. Good night.